Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again here to Race on Texas. We are live here tonight from Volusia Speedway Park on iRacing for the Till Valhalla Racing League, or TVRL for short. We have a good night of racing coming your way. We have two full features coming your way, as we have the super late models followed by the UMP modifieds. We will have heat, mains, and a feature with a little bit of warm-up in between. There will be a break in between the racing action, as the next race, our next full feature event will kick off at 8:30 Central Time. So there will be some time in there for you to take a break, get something to drink. We will not kill the stream. We will stay live, so make sure you grab you something to drink, something to snack on in between there. But before we move any further, we need to thank all of the sponsors that make all of this possible here on the racing side of things. Of course, Havens Racing, Silver Fox Race Ready Wraps, and of course Till Valhalla Racing, or TVR. None of this would be possible without them coming on board to make this happen. On the broadcast side of things here for 2019, this is all possible due to the following partners: Northwest Racing Series, Walls Beard Co., a Beard Bomb. Of course, our partners here at Race on Texas for allowing us to be on the channel: World of Thunder, Hanover Wrecker Service, On the Edge of Motorsports, your official Wicked Energy Gum retailer, Huffman Designs, and of course, Racecore Online Racing League. A big shout out to all of these partners for coming on board here for 2019, as we are already looking to 2020. That being said, looks like we got about 16 or so drivers in here. So 16 drivers will be taking to the feature. That means everybody will make it as they take 24 to the main event later on tonight. We currently have 2:50 on the clock. Again, this is your time to grab you something to drink, something to snack on from the homemade concession stand in your kitchen. Or if you happen to be watching us on a mobile device, on your phone, tablet, something like that, let us know where you're watching from. Hopefully it's somewhere where they like racing, because they're going to get a lot of it here tonight, as we've been as far as having people put us up in their bar TVs. So we are super stoked to have stuff like that happen. So if you happen to own a bar, hey, you like racing, put us up on the big screen and let all your patrons watch the race there. It should be some good racing coming your way here in about 10 minutes or so, about 8 minutes, as again we are in practice here at the moment. Then we'll have qualifying and then some heat racing. Looks like we'll probably have about 2 heat races here for your super late model racing action, as we have a lot of people tuning in here tonight, getting in here to watch this. Make sure you share it out there, like it if you like it, and of course you know what to do. Subscribe, hit the bell to be notified of all upcoming events. I can definitely find out if anybody's able to go down there. I haven't heard of anybody down there, but yes, Wreckfest, we will definitely, I'll give a hold of Chris David, the owner, and we will see if we can't maybe get somebody down there, at least for a one-off race. Anything is definitely possible. So yes, if you want to message the Race on Texas Facebook page with all the details about that, we'll see if we have anyone possibly close by there that is free. I'm sure we would love to have that content on the channel as well, so definitely hit us up on the Facebook page. That being said, we got about 50 seconds left to go. Again, 16 drivers here, as it looks like Daniel Cummings Jr. has made his way to the track here. Again, we're at Volusia Speedway Park for tonight's festivities. Definitely looking forward to some great racing. We got a lot of the G1RT guys back here, as car count was a little lower last week due to a big race going on. Those drivers are back and ready to go. 20 seconds left on the clock, so we're going to step away, get a quick hydration break, and we'll be right back as qualifying begins. All right, there you have it. Checkered flag is waving. It is time for qualifying. As there you have it, qualifying green flag has been waved. And who's going to be the first one out on the track? We'll find out. Qualifying coming down on your screen, and it looks like everybody's name is accounted for. Let's go over to the drivers. Here's the first one out on the track. Looks like it's going to be the number 4 of Derek Keltner. As there are a few others out, we'll go ahead and bring your qualifying car up as well. We also have Chris Malone, Chris Fisher, Dean Slauson, Clay Devin, Dylan Wilson, and Mike Cron out on the track. Even though we can only see one at a time, they are out there, so we'll do the best to cover at least your top 5. And you'll be able to see the rest of this field on the left side of your screen, so you'll know who's qualifying where, who you are rooting for here tonight. Definitely let us know in chat who that driver is. Who is it you're rooting on to victory lane here tonight? And how are they going to be faring? We'll find that out here shortly. It's Derek Keltner at the top with a 15.944. Mike Cron right behind him with a 16.029. And Chris Fisher, your top 3, 16.040 with Clay Devin a 16.127 now. And Dean Slauson 5th with a 16.127. And the times are starting to come in. James Grace going to run a 16.015 in that 269. Awesome looking number on the side of that car for a 3-digit number. I'm very impressed with it. It actually looks really cool on the side of that car. Dean Slauson currently 7th. We'll go over to Shad Prescott in the number 41 machine. See what kind of time he can put down. And D1RT been so dominant when they're here. They look to continue that trend here tonight. And we'll just have to wait and see if they can. But again, such a dominant team no matter where they go. As we do have a new driver here, John Alatic. I believe that is how you pronounce it. John Alatic. If that is not correct, we will get that pronunciation corrected. I'm sure. So if somebody out there is watching for me, you can let us know. I believe it is John Alatic. So we will clarify that as quickly as possible. Zach McSwain out on the track in the number 25 machine. He's a favorite no matter where he goes. And you got the Dirty Grass Soul, number 25, with a second fastest time, 15.765. We jump over to Dylan Wilson, another D1RT driver with that Supermoon graphics on there. And he is on his first of 2 laps. He's already got a warm-up lap in the books. What kind of time is it going to be here for tonight's racing action? And qualifying lap number 1 is going to be a 15.912. That'll put him at the top of the charts. If it counts, it is not counting for some reason. That would put him, actually not top of the charts, that'd put him about 4th, or 5th, my bad. Even back to 6th, actually. I thought that was a little lower, but I saw that 16. That was actually a last lap for Shad Prescott. There we go. A time going to be coming in. Still not counting, though. And Zach McSwain still in 2nd. Mario Perez going to jump to 4th place with a 15.845. Again, not sure why Dylan Wilson's times are not counting as we go over to Connor Wilson in the number 00 machine being scored as number 13 on the track. But of course, the actual car number is 00, but 13 on the car. And he's going to run a 16.194. That will be a 14th fastest time here tonight. And again, Dylan Wilson going to be starting at the back of the pack as his times did not count for whatever reason. I didn't see him get into anything, but again, times not going to be counting with a minute 12 left on the clock. It looks like that is going to do it for the cars qualifying. Qualifying is done with 1 minute left on the clock. Your top 5 drivers are going to be Prescott, McSwain, Casey, Perez, and Crawford. Mason Crawford, a new driver here, but not new to iRacing by any means. Didn't get to catch him in that 119 machine, but hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to him a little bit later tonight. That is going to do it for qualifying, though. We'll go ahead and get qualifying off your screen as they are going to advance that time. It is time for your heat racing here for the super late models at Volusia Speedway Park for the Till Valhalla Racing Leave live on Race on Texas YouTube channel. As we are going to have indeed 2 heat races followed by your 50-lap feature race coming up here in just a little bit. Heat race number 1 as we'll bring down your heat race lineup. It's going to be Shad Prescott, Jordan Casey, Mason Crawford, Derek Keltner, Chris Fisher, Daniel Cummings Jr., Clay Devin, Dean Slauson, and I'm not sure if Cody Slauson is going to be racing. I do believe he will be here tonight. Again, I do believe he will be racing as we're here on the flag stand. And I don't think that's Kevin Fry flagging here tonight, but we can't see with just his arm. For all we know, Kevin Fry could be flagging here tonight. Not sure if he's out there watching, but a shout out to Kevin Fry for being a great flagman. I got to watch him at the Texas Motor Speedway race not long ago. Awesome, always to see the coolness in the way he does what he does, waving those flags. You never thought you could see someone wave a flag and it just looked cool, but he manages to do it. But on pole, Shad Prescott in the 41 with his teammate, the 42 of Jordan Casey, going to be on his outside. Mason Crawford, nobody to shake a stick at. I think he'll be somebody you need to watch. It's actually showing the 15 on his car, but scoring will score him as the 119. As that is his typical number. But the 15 here tonight on the car. All right, pace truck going to be making its descent here shortly as it will pull into the pits, and we will get this thing started. As you can see, they're holding back just a little bit from the pace car, or pace truck, I guess you could say, as it should make its descent here next time by. You can see it's not going to do it yet. It's a little further back or up the track than it normally would be. So it will be making that descent here next time by, and we are going to go racing. So we'll go ahead and get rid of your heat lineup off the screen, as it is time to go racing here for heat race number 1. All right, green flag coming out, and we are racing as they come to the flag stand for the first time here tonight. You're watching the Till Valhalla Racing League live on Race on Texas YouTube channel, as it's going to be the 41 Shad Prescott out front leading this race as he is off to the races, literally out front. Mason Crawford going to take second place away from Jordan Casey, quickly making work of that 42 machine in the number 15 of Crawford. Chris Fisher hanging on to fourth place at the moment. Here comes Derek Keltner in the Ford machine in fifth place, trying to get by him if he can. Is it going to work? Not so far. He's going to keep trucking forward, trying to make it. Clay Devin a little further back than he wants to be in the 84 machine, trying to make his way to the front. And he's going to get by the 24 R of, I believe it's 24 R of Daniel Cummings Jr. Can't tell us his TR, I do believe. Either way, the 24 of Daniel Cummings Jr. But out front, the battle still is not much of one. It is getting there a little bit better, so let's jump up there. Mason Crawford is right now 0.366 seconds behind your race leader, Shad Prescott. Prescott still moving to the front with 4 laps to go. Here going to be 3 this time by your race leader, that T1RT at 41. Supermoon Graphics, Shad Prescott. There it is, 3 laps to go here in heat race number 1. Crawford has everything he needs right there to have a fast car, and he's right there with him. But the gap now from 0.366 to 0.383, that gap has slipped just a little bit. He's going to keep trucking forward to go back just a little bit to check on the 42 and the 5. That is Casey and Fisher side by side, but it looks like it may be Jordan Casey that has the advantage coming out of the corner. But here comes the 5 of Fisher. Fisher going to tap him just a little bit, knock him out of the way, and that'll leave him. He will have a third position at the moment, but can he hang on to it is the question. White flags in the air for the 41 of Shad Prescott. We still got a lot of beating and banging going on in the back. Let's switch the flags in as they come to it. It's going to be the 5 that takes over it. Fisher will officially have a third place over Jordan Casey as he gets by him after that little door smack, and he'll take the position. That moves us on to heat race number 2. Heat race number 2 drivers coming out onto the track are going to be Zach McSwain, Mario Perez, John Alatic, James Grace, Chris Malone, Mike Cron, Connor Wilson, and Dylan Wilson. Your Wilsons starting at the back of the pack here tonight. Not where they're going to be one starting, especially Dylan Wilson, as his laps did not count in qualifying. So he will be starting quite a bit further back than he is used to starting, with 8 more drivers here for tonight. Heat race number 2, of course, leading the pack is going to be none other than the 25 of Zach McSwain. He's fast and he is good. We'll see if he can put it in victory lane, or a mini victory lane here for heat race number 2 before we move on to that feature race in about I would say about 8 minutes or so. We'll be there with a little bit of a warm-up, and then of course the rest of this race as the pace truck going to be diving off next time by. Alright, pace truck getting ready to dive off. Let's go ahead and get your heat race lineup off the screen as we're going to jump over to the flag stand camera. Green flag is out and we are racing for the first time here in heat race number 2. The 25 McSwain out front, followed by Perez, and it's going to be Alatic that manages to hang on to second, but he's not quite there. Here they come side by side, the 60 and the 3. Who's going to be at the line for second place? It's going to be the 3, Mario Perez. John Alatic right behind him, though. Here comes James Grace, who is usually race control. He is getting the race here tonight in that 269 machine. Chris Malone right behind him in the 29 machine. There's some good battles going on here. We want to check in with Dylan Wilson. He's gained 2 spots since the start of this race, and it is dusty out here. This track is already starting to show signs of going dry slick very quickly here, as that dust is starting to really get in the visors of these people. I can almost promise it's going to be hard to see for one of these drivers. But the one that's got it best right now, that's going to be the 25 of Zach McSwain out front. But he's got company from Mario Perez in the number 3 machine. Perez going to take it to the outside. 4 laps to go. He ain't quite by him yet, but he's going to keep digging on the high side, see what he can do. And we'll see which lane comes together. Will we have multiple grooves here tonight, or will it be on the high side dominant, as this track tends to be from, well, just about every time we come here. But right there, the run that Perez has is really good. It's just not been quite enough to get by McSwain in the number 25 machine, sponsored by iRacing, iFlag, and TAC3. Also got Supermoon Graphics and Dirty Grass Soul on the car. We'll again see that 3 machine of Mario Perez digging hard, but he just hasn't quite been able to get there. He's right on the back bumper, but he needs to be a little further. It looks like he's got Slauson Auto Body on the car. They're side by side at the line. 1 lap to go. White flag's in the air for Zach McSwain. Can he hang on to the lead? We'll see. Zach McSwain going to be coming into the line this time by. And right there, we'll switch to the flag stand, and it's going to be, oh, I believe the 3 got him. We'll see. No, we're going to be giving it to Zach McSwain. Mario Perez just came up a hair short on getting the win, so it's going to be Zach McSwain getting heat race number 2 win. Barely, but he hung on. He did hang on to it. There's, we are in a warm-up before your 50-lap feature race for 5 minutes on the clock. These guys are going to go out there and tear this track up just a little bit. So we will be back here in just a few moments. Grab you something to drink, something to snack on, and we will be back here for your 50-lap A-Main feature event here in just about 4.5 minutes. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back as we have 15 seconds left on the clock before we get this party started. We are about ready to go up to your 50-lap feature race. And of course, as you typing in chat there, we do have the UMP Modifieds coming up after this. We will have another full-on event. We will have heat races, practice, qualifying, all that, and then a 40-lap feature race for your UMP Modifieds following this one. Again, don't go anywhere in between the races unless you're coming to race. We will not turn this stream off, but we will have, that one will be about 8:30 Central Time. It's 7:30 now, so we may have about a 30-minute break in there for you to grab something to eat, something to snack on. But we will not kill the stream. We will keep it open, and then we will move on to that event as soon as it opens. We, of course, will play a commercial there while we switch over. Until then, it will just stay in this lobby and talk to our top 3 drivers that we have. Maybe put some music up on the screen as well. We'll see how all that goes. Let's get to it here for your feature race tonight, as it's going to be as follows. Your grid for tonight's race, assuming they don't switch anything up on us, any redraws or anything like that, it's going to be Shad Prescott and Zach McSwain on row 1. Row 2 is going to be Mason Crawford and Mario Perez. Row 3 is going to be Chris Fisher and John Alatek. Row 4 is going to be Jordan Casey and Dylan Wilson. Row 5 is going to be Derek Keltner and James Grace. Row 6 is going to be Clay Devin and Chris Malone. Row 7 is going to be Daniel Cummings Jr. and Connor Wilson. Row 8 is going to be Dean Slauson and Mike Cron. And rounding out the field would be Cody Slauson in that 44 machine. I do not believe he is going to be racing. It looks like he's going to be race control here tonight. So we have 16 drivers starting tonight's race. And your pole sitter for tonight's feature race is going to be the 41 of Shad Prescott. On his outside, Zach McSwain. Your 2 heat race winners. Should be a good race between them. I think Shad Prescott, I don't know, I'm not even going to say he may have the upper hand. I think he's tends to be a little bit more dominant, but I am not going to say that, even though I kind of just did, because Zach McSwain has been pretty dominant himself in that Dirty Grass Soul iRacing iFlag Southern Moon graphics. Either way, I don't think that's right, but Supermoon, there we go, Southern Moon, Supermoon graphics. Regardless, pace car is diving off, green flag is out, and we are racing here for the first time tonight in your 50-lap feature race. And I completely forgot about the 4-wide salute. I apologize for that one. That was on me. They're gonna do a salute. I was all amped up and ready to go. Not feeling real good, a little under the weather here tonight, so I was just all ready to go racing. Well, that one's on me. I do apologize if I got y'all all psyched up for some racing, but I forgot about them 2 extra laps in here. But we are ready to get this thing going, and just excited. We love this league. We love that we picked them up. And I expect to see nothing but some great racing from everybody here tonight. Alright, now we're going racing as we are underway here for the first time in your feature race. These guys just duking it out here. We'll find out who's going to be your race winner later on. Zach McSwain actually got the jump on Shad Prescott in that 41 machine. He will lead your first lap. It'll be interesting to see how everything stacks together. Again, right now the 25 out front, followed by Prescott, Fisher, Crawford, Altic. Those are how they run here at the moment. Be interesting to see Prescott still there. Crawford, again, we don't see him run too often in that 15. Actually scored at the 119. We don't see him race too often. It's awesome to see him back behind the driver's seat racing once again. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to him. He's in fourth. He's one spot out of a podium finish here to have us talk to him. So that's something I want to see how he does. If he is able to get into the top three, I want to see if we can talk to him. If we don't have our top three, maybe we will talk to him here in a bit. We're going to go a little further back where they're still trying to duke it out back here in the fields. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties there. That is going to be the 3, Mario Perez. That's hanging in there as well. Clay Devin way further back than he wants, and that dust is getting really bad for these guys in the back that are having to drive through all of this. That's going to make it difficult to drive through. The ones that have it made right now are these guys up here at the front. Zach McSwain, Chad Prescott, even probably the 5 of Chris Fisher. They're not having to deal with near as much back in the back of this field as far as dust goes and anything like that. So I'm curious to see how it goes for the back of this field. We haven't seen any cautions yet. We're 10 laps in, actually 9 laps in at the moment. So now will be 10 laps when they come to the line. And Zach McSwain still being able to hold off Chad Prescott for the race lead. Derek Fisher right behind him in that 5 machine in the 15 of Mason Crawford, as he's going to take to the high side. And now he's going to go kind of middle. He's not running really high, but he's not running down at the bottom either. He's running right in the middle. Same line Chad Prescott's running. Chad Prescott trying to make a move for the lead. Not going to happen. The D1RT driver in that 41 machine going to have to hang on to second place here at the moment, as McSwain doing an awesome job as we have 12 laps complete, lap 13 underway. Caution free here tonight thus far, as there goes Prescott trying to just give him a little tap, let him know he's there, but he doesn't get quite to the back bumper. We keep going. We go back a little further in this field. We got some Alitech and Dylan Wilson battling. Dylan Wilson fighting his way through this field. Again, he didn't count his laps in qualifying, so he had to start at the back, as he is right there now at the back bumper of that 60 of John Alitech, as he's trying to pass him for what would be 5th position to get a top 5 out of tonight's racing. He'd love to get just a little bit higher, as these cars are getting filthy from all the dirt flying around here. Clay Devin back here as well. Mario Perez, James Grace, these guys just a little bit further back in the field, as it looks like nobody is out of the race. Everyone is on the lead lap here at the moment. Clay Devin back here, Daniel Cummings Jr., Chris Malone, Mike Cron, Dylan Wilson, and Dean Slauson going to round out your field here at the moment. We go back just a little bit closer to the front, as you got a nice little battle going on here. Dylan Wilson was able to get by the 60 of John Alitech. He'll take over 5th position. He's going to try to run down Chris Fisher in the 5, who at the moment has got clean sailing out in front of him, as your front 3 pretty much checked out from this field. McSwain out there, then Prescott and Mason Crawford in the 15. Then you go back to Chris Fisher in 4th. He's got a nice little pad, but Dylan Wilson trying to close that gap as quickly as he can, and he is closing it. But we're going to go back here to Jordan Casey and John Alitech. Those two right there together, bumper to bumper here. So we're on lap number 19. 34 laps to go. Going to be 33 laps to go this time by in your A-Main feature event. And it looks like Mike Cron is out of the race. He just happened. So no caution came out for it, but he is done here tonight. That will give him a DNF in the 16th place here in the feature race. We go up here. Dylan Wilson still trying to work over the 5 of Chris Fisher. He has caught up to him. So we knew we'd catch him, but catching someone and passing someone are two totally different stories. And right now, he's doing a good job of catching him, but he's got to pass him if he wants to take 4th place away from him. Chris Fisher has that one in the books right now, as he still has about a 3-car length lead over Dylan Wilson. Zach McSwain, speaking of the leads, has the lead right now. He's led 22 laps, as we now have 30 laps to go in your feature race. He's going to try to put that to iRacing iFlag Supermoon Graphics, Dirty Grass Soul Capron Printing, number 25 in Victory Lane here tonight. And of course, we'll see what other sponsors he's got on there. I believe TAC 3 on there as well. But 2 Supermoon Graphics cars in the top 2 right now. I'm not sure if we probably have more than that. You got that D1RT Supermoon Graphics number 41 dealer Chad Prescott trying to get by him. He just hasn't been able to quite get around him. Again, if you like dirt track racing, you should be loving this right now. The battle getting big as dirt is flying. Here comes Mason Crawford. He's actually closing the gap between those front 2 right now. He's running down your second place car of Chad Prescott. So now Prescott not only on the offense trying to get a position, he's going to have to be on the defense here soon as well. So Crawford running down Prescott. Prescott running down McSwain. Meanwhile, Wilson trying to run them all down in 4th place. We go back here to Derek Keltner. Keltner is battling with Jordan Casey, or at least he was there for a moment. That battle has since fizzled out. Chris Fisher behind both of these guys now as he got passed by 1 more spot. He's trying to fight his way. We go up 1 spot to Jordan Casey and John Alatic as these guys side by side battling. The 42 of Casey still trying to find some way around that 60 machine of Alatic, but he just can't do it at the moment. We have 24 laps to go in your feature race. Out front is McSwain, but look at the battle here side by side, separated by 0.133 seconds, as it's going to get a little bit bigger that time around. Now 0.249. So again, from 0.133 to 0.249, McSwain pulls out to a little bit bigger lead now, 0.200. They're going to be side by side coming out of the corner, but not for long, as it's going to be McSwain once again. McSwain having the advantage on that high side. This track is not really showing a whole lot of signs of wear. It definitely is wearing down, but we're not seeing any black buildup on the track. So there's not any real slick spots out there. It may be slicker than it looks, but that black is not showing up on the track. Again, these tires, as long as iRacing has been out and dirt's been out, if we see any black, it's slick. It is not going to be rubber. It's actually going to be slick, and they would sometimes drive through it. But that is not the case. We do not see hardly any black building up here for slick. But here comes Mr. Slick. He's going to try to take a pass here. That is Mason Crawford in that number 15 machine. Chad Prescott under fire as he's trying to get by him for 2nd place. But again, we wanted to talk to Crawford, and we may get that chance. If he's able to get into a Discord here, we can talk to him after this race is over. 19 laps to go here in the race. As again, it has been a good one so far. Caution free. It's like we're back to week number 1. Going to go caution free. Zach McSwain still hanging on to the lead, but Chad Prescott right there with him. We're keeping an eye on that battle. Let's go ahead and pull up your top 3 right there so you can see the difference between your top 3 drivers as we go a little further back in this field. It's going to be Jordan Casey in the 42, and he got by John Alatic there to take the position away. Derek Keltner in the number 4 machine. He is right there with him in 7th place, trying to make something happen, but he's got the 5 of Chris Fisher right behind him. And the further you go back in this field, the more it has closed out. We're going to go back to the front as we got a really good battle going on now between your top 3.033 seconds separating them. But once again, as he pulls it out of his hat, that is going to be the 25 of Zach McSwain. When he needs it most under pressure, he pulls it out of his hat of tricks, and he is able to hang on to the lead once again. It's McSwain, Prescott, Crawford, Wilson, and Casey, your top 5 at the moment. And you got 2 distinct lines running. Chad Prescott trying to hang on to 2nd place at the moment as he's got Mason Crawford all over his back bumper, and these cars are getting filthy here tonight. They're definitely going to have to go through the car wash before this car goes into the garage to be worked on. And still nothing. We go one more lap. We have now 12 laps to go here in your A main race. It's the 15 of Crawford. It's kind of slid back just a little bit. This is where it's going to get interesting, folks. We got a good little battle going on here for the lead. And look who's in front. That is Dean Slauson in the 08. We got a lap car coming into the picture. Let's go on board here with Shad Prescott if we can. And this is the view he gets. Obviously, he's over in the driver's seat. This is on his roll bar here. As there goes the 25. He gets by, and a little bit of contact between Dean Slauson and Shad Prescott there as they're trying to get around the lap car. So he clears him, but it wasn't without any damage there. As we have a car going around, a caution coming out, and it is going to be Mason Crawford, your third place driver. Let's go back and take a look. So caution coming out for the 15 of Mason Crawford. And I'm not sure what happened here. Not sure if he had contact with the lap car. There's the contact, and both of them hard into the outside wall. And that will send both of them into the outside wall. And then your third place driver, the 15 of Mason Crawford, into the inside wall. As we go back to live, Zach McSwain, your race leader here with 8 laps to go. Going to be about 4 to go when we get the green. Actually about maybe 5. Either way, it's going to be short on laps. And this is not what McSwain wanted to see, I'm sure. This is going to give that 41 of Shad Prescott a run on that outside lane. This may spell defeat here for Zach McSwain. We'll see. It's going to be all dependent on how good of a jump he gets here when we get the restart in a couple of laps. Alright, we are set to go racing once again. Green flag is in the air, and we are back underway here with 6 laps to go. So I figured it would be 5, but it's actually going to be 6 laps. As it's going to be McSwain that gets a nice jump. But here comes Dylan Wilson as he gets by Shad Prescott on the restart. And no surprise there, Dylan Wilson may have started towards the back, but he's going to fight and claw his way to the front. That's exactly what he's done here tonight, as it looks to be a 2-3 spot for D1RT. We'll see. They're going to keep falling as we got cars falling. I'm not sure who that was. And we got them beating and banging back here. Caution is out, and that's going to be for the 5 of Chris Fisher, as they're still beating and banging with the cautions out. Let's go back and take a quick look. Cautions, breeding cautions here tonight at Volusia Speedway Park on iRacing. Not sure what happened, but we are watching the 5 of Chris Fisher. See what happened in contact between the 24 and the 84 of Clay Devin and the 24 of Daniel Cummings Jr. and Clay. They just basically collect everybody else behind them. And that will bring out the caution once again. As it looks like we're going to have about a 2-lap shootout. They'll see if the lights go off this time. And they do not go off this time. So they should go off next time, which would give us a 1-lap shootout to end this race. Yeah, one downside to iRacing, folks, is unfortunately caution laps do count. They do have green-white checkers. I'm not sure if they are in place here, but we do have the green-white checkered, so the race wouldn't end under caution. But they have already stated from the iRacing, I believe it's Myers that posted that caution laps not counting is in the works. So again, we will have caution laps being turned off during actual cautions in the future, and they are getting ready to go. So I know it says final lap. Don't let that fool you, folks. This race is not over. We are going to go green, white, checkered. Right now, picture that scoreboard showing 3 laps to go. When they get to the line, it will be 2 laps to go. We will call it out for you. As right now, it would be simulated 3 laps to go on the clock. And it would say 2 when we get to the line, as there it is, going to be 2 laps to go here in your race. I believe that is correct ascension, so it's 2 laps to go right now. That is not accurate. We are an older version here to make it work with our overlays, as they are going to come to the line to get the white flag. Officially the white flag, 1 lap to go. This will determine. Right now it is Zach McSwain followed by Dylan Wilson. Wilson going to slide him all the way up to the top, and they're going to be battling side by side. Here comes Wilson. He's going to take over the lead. Here comes McSwain to the inside, and it's not going to happen. It's going to be Dylan Wilson that brings home the victory here tonight from the back to the front, as he goes from worst to first here in your feature race. Dylan Wilson getting the win, as Shad Prescott going to go upside down there. So it's going to be Wilson, McSwain, and Casey going to be your top 3 drivers that we'll be talking to here in just a few moments. So give us a minute here. We will be back with your top 3 drivers to talk to here in just a second. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are going to have an interview with third and first, and then we'll go back to second over in Discord here in just a minute. But we're in TeamSpeak in the House of D1RT here tonight. As always, we're talking to them every week. We got to figure questions to ask them here tonight. But you're a third place driver in tonight's race is going to be the 42 of Jordan Casey. First off, as always, congrats on the third place finish. And our big question for you here is, you got those 2 cautions there at the end. Did you want them? Did you not want them? And what do you think you need to do to get by Dylan, as it seemed like both of you had a rocket ship here tonight?
Yeah, I didn't want to. I needed them. Pretty sure all D1RT went a little low on fuel there, so we were kind of praying for one. I think I had like 1 gallon left at the end of the race, but I mean, all in all, a good race, and it was fun. Starting a little bit back, I missed the redraw, trying a little different setup, but Shad got me dialed in with his set, and it worked pretty good. And I just tried to follow Wilson as best I could through the field.
Well, you did a good job of that. And we want to mention here, it seems maybe it's just on our end, but we'll see what your thoughts are on this before we get to your sponsors and shout outs because we know you have some. What was the track out there? From our point of view, up here in the little tiny booth at Volusia, anyway, it seemed like this track was really dusty lately.
It was tough to pass for me all race. I mean, kind of one distinct line, and I didn't really try any other lines. I tried the bottom for a while, but I couldn't get momentum in 3 and 4, so I moved up, and it was just really tough to pass. I mean, really tough to pass without a bumper or anything else. But I mean, I was behind Altike there for a while and kind of struggling to get by him. I feel like if I would have got by him a little bit sooner, it would have been a little better. But by the time I got by him, everybody was gone, so it didn't really matter.
Oh, definitely, it was some great racing. We watched you come through this field, and of course, we know you got those sponsors on the car and some shout outs.
Everybody at D1RT and Dylan, Chad, I mean, Eddie Livingston, Clay was racing that. I'm not sure how he ended up. But it's everybody that runs and everybody that helps it go. Supermoon Graphics, too. And I'd like to thank Chad again for the setup tonight and you for broadcasting.
All right. Well, again, congrats on the third place finish here tonight. And we'll come back to second in a second. We're going to jump over to your race winner. He's used to being in victory lane. That is the 80 of Dylan Wilson. Tonight, you go from the rear to the front, or close to the rear anyway. In your heat race, you were at the back. You did work your way up there. You started not at the back of the field, but obviously a lot further back than you probably wanted to. But you work your way through this field and you end up putting it in victory lane. Obviously, that caution coming out kind of gave you a chance to regroup. So, same question: did the caution obviously benefited you? What were you hoping for? Do you think you could have got it without it?
I thought starting in the pack, I would save a little more fuel. So, whenever I got past Jordan and John there early on, I was starting to watch my fuel and doing some quick math in my head. I was just not going to make it, so I was happy to see those yellows. If I wasn't going to win, at least I was going to save enough fuel to finish. So it was a welcome sight for me.
Oh, definitely. Sometimes the cautions help you. Sometimes they hurt you. They helped you here tonight. And same kind of question. This track, we didn't see it laying down too much black, which, as we mentioned earlier, isn't rubber. It's actually turning slick in the black because we don't have tire wear in here. We didn't see a whole lot on the track. So what was this track, right? As we heard from Jordan a second ago, I believe there's some bumps on the track, but how was this race surface here tonight?
Pretty one groove. I don't know. Just not enough cars to wear it in. It just seemed like it was around the top. For me, at least, the setup was kind of tight to run the bottom, so I just stuck it up top and thought we were screwed there for a minute. Ended up getting that second chance and a third chance and taking advantage, so ended up being a pretty good race.
You definitely worked for it, took advantage of the cautions, put it in victory lane here for multiple times this season, and of course you got some of them sponsors on the car to thank.
Yeah, thanks to D1RT Racing, of course. Thanks to you guys for broadcasting, and thanks to TVRL League for putting this still on.
All right, we'll let y'all two go, and I'm sure we'll be talking to y'all here in a little bit as well. All right, we are going to jump over to Discord now and see if we can talk to our second place driver. So give us just one moment. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, with our second place driver. And unfortunately, he may be spending at least here for the next few minutes, kind of a little bit in the Heartbreak Hotel. Had this race, I thought, sewed up, led just about every lap of this race. And then when it came down to it, the caution came out and it kind of got you there as Shad was able to get by, and then Dylan Wilson was able to get by. But you still finish in second, so not a bad night overall, especially points wise. But obviously you wanted the win, so we don't want to ask how disappointing it was, but were you really looking forward to getting that win?
Yeah, I thought I was gonna be good there. I wasn't. I'm not very good at this track, so I was surprised I was able to hold them off that long. But once I got in a okay groove, I wasn't that bad, I don't think. But I seen Dylan. I know he started like eighth, I believe, and I seen him get to second, so I know he was running pretty good there. But the track was very racy there. I was able to race all over the place, so that was a good race.
Definitely, it was some great racing, a lot of side-by-side action, all throughout the field, and especially up front. And you, like you said, you held them off for a long time. The cautions kind of one of those things. They helped some people, they hurt some. In this case, they didn't play in your favor, as it allowed them to kind of regroup and reset and come back at you a little stronger. Still at second place overall. Looked like a great track out there as well. And we know you got some shout outs to give and possible some sponsors on that car. Can you think?
Yeah, so I think Team FTP, Daniel Powell, he made this setup the other day, and it's pretty good. So, but I like to thank iRacing, iFlag, Dirty Grass Soul, Caper and Screen Print, Tac 3 Defense, Supermoon Graphics. Thank y'all for putting on a great race. We'll see you at the next one.
All right. Well, again, remember, don't sign off, folks. We're not going to. We're going to leave this stream up, as we'll put the league logo up there, the TVRL logo up onto the screen, and we will be back here in about 20 minutes. We'll restart your UMP mod race. We'll switch over to there, so don't go anywhere. Go to the concession stand in your kitchen, grab you something to drink, something to snack on, and we will be back for race number 2 here in just about 20 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the stream. We are back live on the mic. Hopefully everybody is still there with us. And so we are about ready to get this thing going one more time. 3.5 minutes left on the clock before we move into your qualifying. We'll have a little qualifying and a little heat race going on. We have currently 15 drivers that are going to be making the race. I believe 14, one of those will be race control. But we will have 14 drivers here for tonight's race, which means, of course, we will have 2 heat races of 7 drivers apiece. One will have 8 in it, and 1 7, assuming they do go out and race. We'll see if that's the case. But regardless, we will have 2 heat races followed by a 40-lap feature event. We will not have any mains here tonight, and it will, of course, have 2 extra added laps. I don't think they're going to be inverting anything, but again, 40-lap feature will be coming your way after 2 heat races here in the next few minutes. We want to give a big shout out to everybody tuning in here tonight, and of course a big shout out to our main partner allowing us to be on their channel here tonight. Of course, that is none other than Race on Texas. Again, all of this is possible because they allow us to be on the channel. So big shout out to everyone involved there. Scott Bargloff, Nick Robbins, Tony Fetters, who is not racing, it doesn't look like, here tonight. Of course, as well as Harry Fair and Chris David, and anyone who missed, Xander out there, all the guys that make Race on Texas what it is. Valerie, big shout out to you as well. We have Tanya out there, all the people that make Race on Texas what it is, out there filming, announcing, and running the show from behind the scenes. And of course, you still have time. Head on over to raceontexas.com and get your pass for this weekend's race, as it should be a doozy of one. Again, let's head on over to raceontexas.com and get your pass for the Lone Star 600 Friday and Saturday. $25,000 to win, so you don't want to miss that. Should be a good show to watch. As always, I believe Chris David will be over there, and whoever is filming, I'm not sure on that one, but to make sure you get your pass for the Lone Star 600 live on raceontexas.com from Devil's Bowl Speedway. That being said, 54 seconds left on the clock. We are going to step away, grab a quick drink to get hydrated for those races. This is going to be non-stop racing coming up here in just about 40 seconds. Alright, time is up. It is time for qualifying here from Volusia Speedway Park, this time with the UMP Modifieds. Modified action coming your way. Green flag is out. We'll see who the first driver to come out onto the track, and looks like it's going to be Michael Bumgardner coming out on to the track. As we'll zip down to him, and we'll go ahead and bring up your qualifying drop down as well as your qualifying bar. And we got one name not showing up out of the group here, and that is going to be the one car of the one we're actually watching. So that is Michael Bumgardner there. We'll see how he does. He's actually going to be scored as the 197, so it won't matter if it doesn't show up. That is Bumgardner in the 197 machine. As times are going to be starting to come in here with just one name, we'll go ahead and leave it as is. But Clay Devin in the 84 didn't have the lucky one in the first race there with the super late models. Into the fence he went, and he took that Super Moon graphics to the moon as he went up the fence, but he's at the top of the charts right now with a 16.992. His teammate Shad Prescott behind him in second with a 17.062. So a little bit of a gap there. Cody Slauson with a 17.139. James Grace with a 17.161. Chris Fisher in the number 5 machine currently in 5th place with a 17.196. Dylan Wilson, who just won the last race out on track, and he's number 80, but not showing a number on that car at the moment. So not sure. Looks like his number just didn't get put in on the car when they did the wrap. So they might want to talk to whoever did the wraps, as the number not showing up on that car. As we go over to Dean Slauson, as Wilson takes the top time, 16.930, 0.062 faster than Clay Devin, his teammate. And so we'll go over to Jordan Casey. Joshua Hessen just put in a 17.328. We're just about to go to him when he pulled it into the pits and pulled it to a stop. Jordan Casey and Chris Malone, the two drivers that have not put in times just yet, although the 42 of Jordan Casey about to do so. Even though the car says 42, he's actually being scored as 99 here in the race, but 42 is the number that we will be calling off to you. And he jumps to second with a 16.981. Looks like Jason Salter going to take a 12th fastest time with a 17.301, and Chris Malone so far has not put in a time. Again, we'll see if he's going to race or not, but at the moment, Chris Malone not coming on the track. I've never heard of him being an admin, so he may or may not be. We'll see who starts the feature, who doesn't. But that's pretty much going to do it for qualifying. So we'll get rid of the qualifying drop down off your screen, as it's going to be Dylan Wilson, followed by Jordan Casey, Clay Devin, Shad Prescott, and Josh Peacock are going to be your top 5 drivers here in qualifying with 1 minute left on the clock. They'll probably advance it here in a second. Grab you something to drink, something to snack on out of that homemade concession stand, and you have your fridge, freezer, whatever it may be. You have 1 minute to get it ready, as we'll be right back on the mic when it's time to go racing. Alright, again, 2 heat races followed by a warm-up and a 40-lap feature event going to be coming your way, as right now coming out onto the track here for heat race number 1. We'll pull it down onto your screen. It's going to be Dylan Wilson, Clay Devin, Josh Peacock, Derek. We'll get back to last name on there. I believe Fedgenhauer is how you pronounce it. Chris Fisher, Michael Bumgarner, and Tyler Bowling, who we did not see take a lap. But again, that is Derek Fedgenhauer, I believe is how you pronounce it. As they are rolling off here, so we're going to switch over to our main camera and go ahead and get rid of your heat race drop off the screen, as we do not need it anymore. Alright, so we are just about ready to get this thing going. As we will be taking the green next time by to start this race. Alright, strap them belts on tight. We're going to racing, boys, for the first time here tonight. Green flags in the air, and we are racing. It's going to be Dylan Wilson and Clay Devin on the hunt here to try to get the win. Josh Peacock right behind him in the 61 machine. He's going to take it to the middle of the track. He gets a little bump there from somebody. Not sure who it is. We're going to be 3 wide. The 86 that is Derek Fetkenhauer right there battling with him. He's going to get shuffled back to the back, though. Tyler Bowling not going to be starting the race. We move back to the front. It's going to be Dylan Wilson out front, followed by Clay Devin in the 84. Here comes the 61 to Josh Peacock back to the inside. Looks like he might have smacked the wall there just a little bit, but he keeps going and keeps it going in the right direction. Pavel Bumgarner and Chris Fisher are going to be side by side right now, battling for fourth position. One of them's going to have it. One of them's not. Who's it going to be? We'll find out. Here comes the 86 of Fetkenhauer back one more time. He's on the move, and he will get around Michael Bumgarner to take the position of fifth place. They keep moving forward through this field. Meanwhile, up at the front, Dylan Wilson not looking back with 5 laps to go. Going to be 4 this time by for Dylan Wilson. And then he shot for the moon in that D1RT Super Moon Graphics number 84. And he does not want to do that again, as he's got the 61 to Josh Peacock running him down. A little behind them, you have Derek Fetkenhauer right behind them in the 86 machine. He's going to have a little bit of a connection issue with Dylan Wilson not having any issues at all. He is on cruise control. Bringing him in 2 laps go. 2 sticks in the air for Dylan Wilson. Can he hang on to it? He won the last race in the Super Late Models. And here he is doing much better than he did in his last heat race. With the Super Late Models, he didn't qualify, so he had to start at the back. He started out front. He's led every lap. 1 lap to go. Presented by Northwest Racing Series. White flag is in the air, and it has been a good race so far as they're going to come to the flag stand this time by. And checker flag waving. This race is over. It's going to be Wilson, Devin, Peacock, Fetkenhauer, Bumgarner, and Fisher. That'll do it for a heat race number 1. Heat race number 2 getting ready to come out on to the track. And we'll go ahead and bring down your heat race drivers, as it's going to be as follows. It is going to be Jordan Casey and Shad Prescott on row 1. Cody Slauson and James Grace on row 2. Dean Slauson and Jason Salter on row 3. And Joshua Hessen rounding out the field on row 4. 7 drivers here for heat race number 2, about to take it to the track and get this thing going for the first time here tonight. Alright, who's ready to get this thing fired off? It's going to be the M14 of Shad Prescott on the outside of the 42 of Jordan Casey to start this thing. Should be a good one, as heat race number 2, a stacked field here for sure. As we'll go ahead and get rid of your heat race off the screen. We no longer need those, as we know who the drivers are. Now we're ready to get this thing started. All right, getting ready to get the green flags. It's coming out now. Green flags in the air, and we are racing for the first time in heat race number 2. Here you're watching Till Valhalla Racing League live on RaceOnTexas.com as it is underway. It's going to be Jordan Casey that takes the lead by Shad Prescott. Right behind him, Shad Prescott take it to the inside, or sorry, the outside. Is the 42 going to be taken to the inside? We go back a little ways. Look at the crowd going on here. The 10 getting shuffled back. That's going to be Jason Salter, and he may be a little salty after that one as he gets shoved around there just a little bit. He keeps it going in the right direction, though. No caution going to be coming out. We go forward just a little bit. You got the 266, or 269, sorry. That is going to be James Grace running down Cody Slauson. Those two obviously going to work with each other cleanly here on the racetrack. They're going to be battling side by side, bumper to bumper for quite some time. We go back to the front. Here comes Shad Prescott to the inside. Can he make it happen? He cuts to the inside. Slide job, not going to happen. As Jordan Casey continues to lead this race with 5 to go. Going to be 4 this time by 4 laps to go as they come to the line. Shad Prescott out front. Here comes Jordan Casey, though. Jordan Casey going to have him at the line for 4 to go. They are making it slide job and crossover city here between the M14 of Shad Prescott and the 42 of Jordan Casey. As right at the moment is Shad Prescott out front, but here comes Jordan Casey, and he will have him at the line one more time. Back and forth. Who's going to win heat race number 2? It is up for grabs at the moment between these two D1RT drivers. As that back wheel, I don't even think it's touching the ground. We may have a little bit of a glitch going on there. The back wheel's not even touching the ground on that M14 machine, and probably not the 42 as well, as they're going to be side by side. And we have 2 sticks in the air, 2 to go. That last time by. White flag going to be coming in the air. Slide job one more time. Here comes Jordan Casey to the line. 1 lap to go. White flag is in the air for the 42 as he was the leader at the line. And a little bit of a bump there from Shad Prescott. Shad Prescott back to the lead. And that little bump he gave to his teammate there in the nose is going to probably allow him to hang on to it. We'll find out. It is indeed Shad Prescott is going to get the win here in heat race number 2, and a little bump there back from his teammate after the race was over. Probably no ill will there, just a little bump, and it got him loose. He didn't wreck him or anything like that. We are in a warm-up here for 5 minutes, so grab you something to drink, something to snack on, do what you got to do. We will be right back. Alright, we are back. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just under 5 seconds left to go in practice here / warm up. We are ready for your 40 lap main event. It looks like we're going to have about 14 drivers, as it looks like Tyler Bowling not going to be starting tonight's race. We'll see that maybe put us at 13 drivers. Either way, it's going to be some good racing here tonight. As there you see, we are officially moving on to your A main event. Alright, let's go ahead and jump down to the track with these drivers here for your A main event. The lineup is going to be as follows. Row 1 going to be Dylan Wilson and Shad Prescott, assuming they don't do any changes. Row 2 is going to be Clay Devin and Jordan Casey. Row 3 is going to be Josh Peacock and Cody Slauson. Row 4 is going to be Derek Fedgenauer and James Grace. Row 5 is going to be Michael Bumgarner and Joshua Hessen. Row 6 is going to be Chris Fisher and Jason Salter. Row 7 is going to be Tyler Bowling and Dean Slauson, and that will do it for your field here tonight as we'll switch over to your main camera. Now, it looks like Tyler Bowling not going to be starting the race. I'm not sure if that is their admin or if he is indeed just not starting this race. But I would imagine maybe admin. We'll see. Really null and void. For us, we're getting to get this thing started as Pace Truck will dive off the track next time. And we will have 2 laps to go around here the track to do any changes they need in the lineup. And then we will go racing for 40 laps. Alright, again, they're getting everything lined up and in order, as it's going to be Dylan Wilson on the front of this track. Here, getting ready to get this thing started. It's going to be Cody Slauson on his outside. They did some major changing up at the front of the field, but we are set to get this thing going. Alright, let's get the race going. Let's switch over to your start cam here as the green flag is out. And we are racing for the first time here tonight. We're going to go back up to the front, as it's going to be a good race here, ladies and gentlemen. We have 40 laps of racing. We'll see how the cautions go. We should see very low, if any, cautions here tonight. We're going to go back there as they're already beating and banging. It's going to be the 61 to Josh Peacock that gets to the fender there, the 44, I believe it was. And the caution is out already on the track. Shad Prescott in the M14. Let's go back and see what happened. Shad Prescott running about 5th place when it all went down, as 86, and to kind of give him a muscle there, it looks like maybe just a little bit in this beating and banging. And around goes the M14 of Shad Prescott. as he is going to bring it in to the pits. We'll see if he makes it back out onto the track. Caution number 1 coming out 3 laps in to your actual race, as those first 2 laps, of course, do not count. But 3 laps in, early caution number 1, so not the start these guys are wanting, as we're going to have a ton of drivers bringing it into the pits to get damage repaired. And we'll see. And Shad Prescott is back out onto the track, so he's going to regain the field here this time by. All right, let's get them going one more time. We're on lap number 8 of 42 here at 40 lap feature race. These guys are not giving an inch back here. They are beating and banging all sorts in the back. We'll have to see how this works out for them, as again, beating and banging going to happen in the back and in the front. It's just part of racing. As we got the big battle going on back here. Cody Slauson involved, Michael Bumgarner, James Grace going on in here. Let's look up the front. Here comes Dylan Wilson to the inside of Clay Devin. He's going to take the position away, as it's going to be Wilson at the line over Clay Devin. He'll take over the lead, at least for the moment. Those two dead even out of the scoring tower, having a problem keeping up with those two. Can't determine who the race winner is, or the race winner, the race leader is, as they are side by side there. That time it's going to be Wilson one more time. But again, a fantastic job by the 84 and the 80, both side by side duking it out here for the lead. Behind them is going to be Cody Slauson and Josh Peacock side by side in the 44 and the 61. Behind them, another little good battle going on. That is going to be the 269 of James Grace. Josh, yeah, we'll see. There he goes. Josh. Jason Salter in the 10 machine back there as well. The 5. Chris Fisher. All these guys back here. Look at them, 4 wide there for a split moment. They're still 4 wide going through the corner. Shad Prescott is working his way back up through the field again after that incident. He went in, got some damage repaired, and he is fighting his way back through this field. He's got the 42 of Jordan Casey back there with him, a teammate. Those two are going to try to punch their way to the front of this field. As at the moment, your front 3 are Wilson, Devin, and Slauson. That is Cody Slauson in the 3rd position. All these guys up front doing a fantastic job. Cody Slauson trying to make something happen, but he has got a ton of people behind him right now. Fisher, Peacock, Casey, Prescott, Grace. All these guys are right there ready to pounce at a moment's notice. It'll be interesting to see how they work it all out here. And so far, well, I say that, and there's the caution going to be coming out, and it's going to be for the 10 of Jason Salter. We'll see how and where all this happened on the track. So let's go to our aerial cam here for the replay, brought to you by St. Ford out of Corpus Christi, Texas. And he gets a bump to the 197, I believe it is. And right there, actually not the one that originally brought it out. That would probably go to the 86 of Derek Fedkenhauer. So that was actually what brought out the caution. As we go back to the front of this field here, it's going to be still your race leader And that is going to be Dylan Wilson out front leading this race. All right, pace truck going to be diving off this time. Let's go to our restart camera on the flag stand. This green flag is out and we are racing once again. It is going to be Clay Devin this time that gets the advantage. Let's see if he can hang on to it. Clay Devin and Dylan Wilson going to be battling side by side for the lead right now. It's going to be Clay Devin at the line one more time, followed by Dylan Wilson. Wilson going to be trying to go back-to-back wins. It seems like we just got done talking to him, but it was actually almost an hour ago now that we got done talking to him. So we'll be talking to him again, I'm sure. But Clay Devin again going to be possibly going back-to-back wins. Or Dylan Wilson anyway. Clay Devin looking to steal that thunder and get the win away from him, but it's still side by side. We have 21 laps to go. It's going to be 20 laps to go. This time at the line is Clay Devin leads that lap. We're going to go a little further back in this field. Look at the battle going on here. Chad Prescott, Cody Slauson, who fell back from third all the way to sixth place, lost 3 spots during that restart there. The 197, Michael Baumgartner coming in as well. Chad Prescott getting the mixed caution is out. Chad Prescott involved in another one here tonight. Let's go back and take a look. And we're 4 wide. Little contact between Cody Slauson and then that 44 and Chad Prescott. Prescott straightens the wall just a little bit. We'll see what happened. That did not bring out the caution. Caution coming out here in just a moment. Right there, Cody Slauson gets to the back bumper of the M14 of Chad Prescott. Around Prescott goes, and that'll bring out the second caution of the night. Well, it looks like Prescott tonight is going to be done a little bit earlier than he wanted to, as he's going to be scored right now in 13th place, 1 lap down, as we get ready to get this thing going here in another lap or so. Alright, pace car is off and we are racing. Green flag back in the air. And it's time. It is still Clay Devin that is out front. We've only lost 1 driver out of this field, and that was Chad Prescott in that M14 machine on the last caution. We have 15 laps to go right there for Clay Devin, who's out front leading this thing. Again, if you're just tuning in, well, hopefully that's not the case, but you're watching the Till Valhalla Racing League live here on Race on Texas YouTube channel. We are having some great racing here, as we got Randy Post in the chat. Yes, sir, and these are race cars, not footballs. They are race cars. We got some beating and banging going on here towards midfield. No pun intended there for football, but Chris Fisher, Jason Salter, Derek Fettenhauer, Joshua Hess, and Cody Slauson, all these guys right back here. You might even throw Josh Peacock in that group as well. A huge group of cars battling back here at the moment. So definitely some good battles going on. Not so much in the front. We'll go back up there here momentarily. Clay Devin has a .299 second lead, almost 3/10 over his teammate here at the moment of Dylan Wilson. And not showing any signs of letting him by anytime soon, but we're going to jump up there as I saw something. That gap has now closed to .133, so it looks like Dylan Wilson has closed the gap here in the last couple of laps. He's looking to get by him. He looks to the inside. Here comes Jordan Casey as well. Jordan Casey definitely wanting to get the win. We just talked to him from the last race. Clay Devin out front. Here comes Wilson to the inside. Not going to happen. We now have 10 laps to go here in your main event, your A-main feature race, as it has been all about Clay Devin. This time opposite. Last time it was all about Dylan Wilson. Actually, I bet it was about it wasn't about Dylan Wilson until the end of the race, I would say. It was all about McSwain, Zach McSwain, and he is not here in this race. I figured he would be, but he's not. 9 laps to go, and it's going to be 8 to go at the line. Here comes the 42 of Jordan Casey. One more time, he's going to dig to the bottom. Can't make it happen. 8 laps to go here in your A-main event. The question is, who will put it in victory lane here tonight? Is it going to be the 84 of Clay Devin, or will it be Dylan Wilson? Let's go back a little further here, as this little battle going on as well between Peacock, Bumgarner, and Hessen. And throw Jason Salter under there as well in that number 10 machine after a little incident earlier. He's back in this race against Chad Prescott's been on pit road for about 4 minutes, 12 laps down. Unfortunate for him, not what he wanted. But back to the front we go with 6 laps to go. It is still all about the 84, but the 80, his teammate trying to run him down. Right now is 1, 2, 3 for D1RT here again tonight. As D1RT domination underway. Not going to happen. I thought we were going to have maybe the 80 of Wilson get to the back bumper of his teammate Clay Devin and try to make something happen, but it didn't quite work. He's going to have to keep digging, but here he goes to the inside, going to try to make a slide job. And no, once again, the slide job can't stick. He has to go back to second place, regroup, try it again. Meanwhile, you have Jordan Casey in the 42 trying to get by both of them as the battling is getting intense here tonight between these 3 drivers, especially the front 2. Throw a blanket over them. We're coming up on 3 laps to go for Clay Devin. And we don't want to neglect the midfield and the back of the field. There's some good battles going on back here as well between Michael Bumgarner, Jason Salter, and Joshua Hessen. These 3 putting on a heck of a show back here for you as well. But that gap currently .183 now, as Wilson doing everything in his power to try and get to the front of this field. He's right there. He's in second place, but just hasn't quite been able to get by him. As we get the white flag in there, 1 lap to go, presented by Northwest Racing Series here for the 84 of Clay Devin. This is the last ditch effort that 80 of Dylan Wilson's going to have. Here comes the 42. They're going to try to make it 3 wide coming to the line. It's not going to happen. Your race winner is going to be the 84 of Clay Devin, followed by Wilson and Casey, going to be your top 3. D1RT dominating this race here tonight. Let's go ahead and get rid of that, and we'll pull up your official running order on to the side of your screen. Again, that 1 is actually the 197 of Michael Bumgarner, who, again, his name not showing up in the overlays. We'll step away for a minute. We're going to talk to your top 3 drivers. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, quickly here with the post-race show, and we're gonna get with. I don't see. We got Gerb. I don't see. Oh, there is Ed Livingston. We're gonna just call this the D1RT post-race show here for tonight's race, anyway, as that's pretty much what it came down to. And starting with third place, we've kind of already talked to him once today, but we're gonna talk to him again anyway. That is going to be the 42 of Jordan Casey. I know the overlays say 99, but it's actually the 42. So first off, of course, as always, congrats on the third place finish. Good points night for you. Well, let's just not even talk about this race. Let's talk about just this season so far for you and your team. You've pretty much dominated this. I believe this is the third week you've gotten 1, 2, and 3, and sometimes top 5. So, how has it been out here, and how much time and effort goes into setting these cars up to go and dominate week in and week out?
Yeah, it's been fun for sure. I mean, kind of wish we got a little bit more cars in the league, but it's a good group of guys, and it's clean racing, so it's always fun. I don't know, season's been going good, but I think I missed the last 2 weeks, so I'm pretty much out of it for the points pie. But I think Dylan or somebody else should hold on to it, one of the D1RT guys. That's good.
Well, definitely it's been a good season. Again, car count fluctuating. There's a lot of leagues running here, especially since winters picked up. And the real racing is off. But we're not going to keep you here too long. Again, we just got done talking to you. But again, it seems redundant, but we know you got some sponsors that you got to thank and people that make all this happen.
Yeah, everybody at D1RT, Eddie Livingston, everybody else, Supermoon Graphics, Jim Emery, making the paints, and that's about it. Congrats to Clay on the win and Dylan on second.
All right, again, and that will take us to our second place driver here tonight. He won the first race. He came up second in this one. So just a wee bit short, but of course, finishing second to your teammate ain't a bad way to go. You had plenty of slide jobs and chances to do it. Obviously, you couldn't do it cleanly, so you backed off and didn't end up wrecking you both, junking both cars. What do you think you needed to get by Clay, as both of you seemed pretty evenly matched out there?
Yeah, I just tried to get by the bottom pretty clean. Try to make a different line work, and then it seemed like the bottom just went away, and it just kind of came around the top and the middle. And I moved into his line. It took me a few laps to kind of figure it out, but I just was never able to build up a big enough run down the back straightaway to throw a confident slider, and make sure I clear, because he was running a great race, and I didn't want to ruin our race, and if I was going to pass him, it was going to be clean by a mile. So I never got the opportunity to throw anything at him that I felt good about. So congrats to Clay. That's awesome, man. We don't get to race for the lead very often, and I could tell he was really nervous at the end. So it was fun, and I'm glad he was able to get the dub there.
Definitely, he earned that win against two, of course, fast drivers. In the top 3 happen to be his teammates as well. So again, same thing. We don't want to sound redundant. We just got done talking to you on the win from the super late models, but we know you got those people you got to thank for putting this all together for you.
Yeah, thanks D1RT and all the guys involved over here. We have a brotherhood, that's for sure. And thanks to VRN for broadcasting this, and TVRL League again.
All right, and of course, that is going to bring us to the man of the hour. He should be eating that chicken dinner right about now. We'll see if he's gone to the concession stand to pick it up. That's going to be the 84 of Clay Tebben. Clay, you're sitting in victory lane. I don't know if the trophy girls are here tonight, but hopefully they are. And how does it feel to be celebrating this win after beating Dylan and Jordan?
Oh, man, it's amazing. I'm still wiping the sweat off my forehead.
Definitely don't let anyone tell you that sim racing is not intense. Granted, you don't get all the feelings you do of a real race car, but it is intense out there. And especially after going from 2 different races, 50 laps, 40 laps. Speaking of that, just for the ones that out there that don't have iRacing and maybe wanting to get into it or whatever, how much of a workout is it here, going around this track for 90 laps? And that doesn't count heat races.
I think it's more mentally taxing. to sim race than it is in my real car. I mean, this is like you have to be on point all the time, especially when you've got somebody like Dylan breathing down your neck. You just can't make a single mistake. There's zero margin for error in these things.
Oh, definitely, it is a mental workout. You have somebody like Dylan behind you who's going to race you clean. He's like you said, he's not going to do something if he can't fully commit to it. So, how much of that mindset we were talking about is knowing that he's going to race you clean, but at the same time he's going to do everything in his power to try to get by you. So, are you still somewhat relaxed, or is it still all nerves the whole race?
Well, it's good to know that he's not going to junk me for the spot, but no, there's no relaxing when you got Dylan right behind you on your back bumper. I mean, my palms were sweating. I should have turned my force feedback down going into the race if I would have known, because I was struggling to hang on to it there the last 2 laps. It was like holding on to a soaked pig.
Definitely, you handled it well out there. It didn't look near as hard from outside the car as it did, obviously being in the car, which it never does. And you did an awesome job getting around this track here tonight at Volusia in this UMP modified. And again, we're going to hear the same ones, but we know you got them shout-outs to give. So who are they and who the sponsors on that car?
Well, thank you. First of all, the teammates at D1RT are really the only reason that I've probably stayed on the sim as long as I have. These guys keep it going. They keep it fun, keep it fresh. I'm really fortunate to be here, so I got to thank all them, Dylan in particularly for bringing me onto the team, and Rocket for keeping me around. And I want to thank you for the broadcast, and Till Valhalla for putting on an open setup league. That's awesome. There's so many fixed setup modified leagues going on right now. It's cool to see a man's league pop up.
Well, it definitely is. We love these open setup races ourselves. That being said, we'll let you go and get back to celebrating that win, and hopefully we'll see you in Victory Lane some more.
Yeah, thank you, buddy.
All right, that is gonna do it here for tonight's racing action. We're gonna go ahead and sign off for tonight, and we will see you not Wednesday but Thursday as we are off this Wednesday. We will be back next Wednesday on the 9th with some more dirt track racing coming your way. But of course, this Thursday we have the Northwest Truck Series, so stay tuned for that. And until then, have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you there.